Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on Passively Offside. My name is Taylor. I am your host, and with me is the three members who should be in the studio, Nephi, Splenda, and Brandon. Brandon is back from being sick. We missed you.
I feel better.
We missed you. Brandon had you were pretty bad last week.
Yeah, that was pretty awful.
That was rough.
Yeah, I don't know what I had.
Are you okay now?
I'm fine now.
Good. Am I gonna get sick?
I don't think so.
You're gonna get sick. I'm the one sitting right next to him.
Anyway, if you haven't noticed, we don't currently have Boris on the line, but Boris is actually calling in right now. Let's go to, look at the timing there. Let's go to Boris real quick. Boris, you are unmuted and live. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Good, good. As you guys know, Boris is away for the summer. He is in Canada auditioning for a lead role in a new Bollywood film. So, Boris, how's the role going? Are you going to get it?
I have a feeling that I will get it. It's really hard up here having to deal with the culture change. Sometimes I have to deal with the poor dad jokes up here, like about Canada. The other day I realized how they came up with the word Canada. They sat down in the meeting apparently is what they said, and it was they said how about C-A-N-A-D-A. And I guess that's how they spelled Canada. Back to you guys.
Thank you for that joke, Boris. Splenda actually made that before the show, so thank you.
We're on the same page.
We're on the same page. Well, since we have Boris here, we're going to jump past news real quick because we want to kind of let Boris do his segment and make him feel special about himself. So, Boris, do you have Open Cup scores for us?
Yeah, I do. Hold on right here. It's just pulling up for me real quick. In the midst of learning my new Bollywood act, I have to hide my phone in a tight leotard. So it's hard finding these things. So first score, Philadelphia Union up against the City Islanders. Philly Union won 3-1. They advanced to the next round. Rochester Rhinos went up against defending champions DC United and gone ahead and eliminated our champions. Rochester Rhino went up 1-0. The Columbus Crew won 2-1 against the Indy 11. A good showing from Indy 11 is the team that I could expect a lot from. FC Dallas went ahead and beat the San Antonio Scorpions 2-0. Colorado and Portland both defeated Orlando City. We keep going on here. The Richmond Kickers fell to New England Revolution 3-2. Chicago won 2-1 against Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and Sporting beat Minnesota 2-0. Seattle went ahead and won 5-0 as well. And the last game, Los Angeles came back and beat Arizona United 2-1. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Boris. We missed just a couple there, I think, because they were kind of in the previous week. Atlanta beat RSL 2-1. Carolina and Chivas went to draw and ended up in PKs, where Carolina won 3-2 on PKs. And the New York Cosmos beat the New York Red Bulls, the battle for New York, 3-0. So there's that.
Are we going to go into that?
It makes me sad I have to deal with LA going back to Carolina again. I'm not happy about that. Carolina has a knack for knocking us out.
Yeah, I mean, Carolina's gone, and basically you guys can't hear Boris. He was saying that LA doesn't have to go back to Carolina because they keep losing.
Oh, okay.
I also would like to mention that...
we do have to go back to Carolina.
Oh, you do have to go back.
We actually drew against them in the next round.
Okay, I misunderstood. I've got this stupid headphone in. Anyway, one thing I was going to point out as well, real quick, Boris mentioned that both Portland and Colorado beat Orlando, but it actually kind of happened where Portland didn't beat Orlando City, they beat Orlando City's U23 team. I want to point that out because I'm mad. That's why.
Just a little sad inside.
I'm mad.
That's just little sister of the poor.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
An MLS team playing a U23 team.
Well, it's the same thing because they're getting ready for what LA already has going. Because they'll go into the MLS and then they'll have that
they'll have their USL team ready.
Yeah. So they can draw from the USL team. Well, anyway, Boris, we appreciate you calling in and giving us some scores. Your timing was absolutely perfect. Mm-hmm. We're going to let you go, and we'll see you later.
Bye, bud.
I miss you.
Okay, he's gone.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
Whatever. I can pull those out of my ear now. Anyway, let's kind of go back. We're going to loop back around. We jumbled things up because Boris.
You turn.
Yeah, did you have something to say?
I thought we were talking about the Cosmos game.
No, we weren't.
No,
No.
then fine.
No, we just mentioned the scores.
Yeah.
Look at your notes.
I see the notes.
Scores only.
All right.
Brandon really loves the Open Cup, and we will get to the Open Cup. We are going to discuss it as it gets a little further along. I know you are happy. I know you're excited about it. Keep watching it. Come up with some notes, and we'll get there.
How much further along is it going to go, though? We're
how
going to
much
keep
further?
pushing it away.
The final.
And
We'll talk about
eventually-
it for the final.
Next segment.
You want to do the next one?
We can do the next
week.
segment.
All right, teasing it for next
It
week.
is happening right now. Next week, tune in for Open Cup. Do you want to end it there? Are you done
That's
for
cool.
today?
You're good.
Do you want to just wait till next week?
No, I'm good.
Okay,
Let's keep going.
All right. Let's loop back to World Cup news. There is a lot to talk about that.
Rewind.
Yeah, we're going to come back. We've got a lot to talk about from this past week. Let's start with one you gave me, actually. They're almost double the goals in this cup as from last cup.
Yes.
I don't know where you saw that, but I'm glad you said it.
It was I think Taylor Twellman's the one who mentioned it. And then he probably
Can we trust that?
yes.
Like
Because he has some guy that's being paid to look up these stats.
Yeah.
ESPN statistician.
Yeah.
In fact, along those same lines, this cup has the most goals in it since 1958.
Wow.
At this point in the tournament. 1958. By the way, I believe, if I remember correctly, Brazil won that cup with Pelé.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, 1958 and 1962 they won with Pelé.
And they didn't even have goal line technology.
Whoa!
How did they know?
I don't know.
Let's go to the next bit of news that wasn't in my notes. We have goal line technology.
Yeah.
And if you guys didn't see it, they were using goal line technology for goals that were maybe
Clearly.
a little clearly goals.
Painfully obvious is where I would go.
Hit the back of the net.
Hit the
They're like,
back of the net
"Let's
and
see."
kept going a little bit. I think a big thing was like, look, we have goal line technology and we haven't used it. We have to
show what it
That's
does.
excellent.
we have to show what it does.
Yeah.
So I think it's awesome. It actually has come in handy for a couple different goals. The
Guillermo Ochoa save during the
that one,
Brazil-Mexico game.
there was the one.
There was one. It was France guy was running down goalie right side.
Honduras. France and Honduras.
France and
Yeah.
Honduras. France and Honduras.
Too many games.
Dude,
Oh,
so
yeah.
many
So many.
games. And now that they're changing up, I used to know it like to a point,
Yep.
and now it's like,
Who's
did
playing who?
Ecuador play the moon? What's going on? But he fires it off the far post, and it goes in, and the Honduran goalkeeper scoops it off the line, and goal line technology showed the entire ball was completely over the line, indicating a goal.
Well, and the nice thing about it is the ref,
dude.
the ref
It's
has
good.
a little watch.
Yeah.
Has
And
a
it
little
just
watch.
says
Yeah,
goal.
it just says goal.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's not
that.
really someone looking at it.
Yeah.
The
They don't like
technology
radio
just
it in.
goes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Goal.
so
It's like,
they've
okay,
got
goal.
6 cameras,
Good.
3 on each side, and they're pointing at the goal.
Mhm.
And then the way the software is run, it keeps out like a lot of other info. Like if you saw the video, it doesn't look like high def because it's not supposed to be. It is very contrasted to show the edges of everything really strongly. That tracks the ball, it tracks where the line is, and it just pops up on his wrist and either says goal or it doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
Cool.
So until his watch says goal, he doesn't do this.
Because let's be honest,
He just
at first
points at the
glance,
midline.
that looked like a save.
Yeah.
At first
absolutely.
glance,
Like it
that
wasn't
looked from the
over.
angle that you have watching it on television.
Mm-hmm.
That looked like a really great goal line save.
And that is why goal line technology is such a important part of the game.
I agree.
But can we stop using it for the ones that are so painfully
I haven't seen them do that
obvious?
though.
Well,
I haven't seen them do it since because
yes.
now that it has been used for its actual potential, I don't think they're going to go back to that.
No.
Okay, I hope they don't.
I think it was merely
It was
look
a
at
showpiece.
us. This
It
we
works.
have this now. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Let's look at how it works. And wow, it does work. This one that was obviously a goal was a goal.
Yeah. Yep. Well, moving on here, we've got a lot more news, and we're already getting way off track.
Good.
Let's all stop and take a breath for a second. The U.S. beat Ghana.
The U.S. did beat Ghana.
The U.S. beat Ghana 2-1, which in the last 3 games we played, this is the only time. They have knocked us out of the last 2 cups, and vengeance.
8 years of pain, misery, humiliation, and
Brandon's
embarrassment.
Yes.
No, I agree. But let's save all this talk for when we talk actually about
We're
the
actually
game.
going to talk about
the game.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
We will get to that game in a minute. Other news from that game: Dempsey's goal, which was marked at 32, they revised it to 32.
It was initially at 32, and it was revised to 29.
29. Okay, so Dempsey's goal, clocking in at 29 seconds into the beginning of that game, is the fastest goal in U.S. history and the 5th fastest goal in World Cup history. 5th fastest in World Cup history. That's a big deal.
Deuce face.
Can we? We're gonna go off topic.
This is bad. All right. Next
Clint Dempsey has a rap
Oh God.
album.
Yeah.
And he goes by Deuce. That's all I'm saying. We're not talking about it. We talked about it earlier.
Has anyone listened to it?
Yes.
Is it good?
No, it's bad. No, it's awful.
bad.
It's awful.
It's horrible.
Oh.
It's the worst thing ever.
Pepe faces a possible 3-game suspension for that headbutt, which was a very deserved red. You're an idiot.
He's Pepe.
That was just Pepe being Pepe.
Yep.
That's what you expect from Pepe.
Sure.
I mean, if your opponent is of fragile character, you seek to annoy.
We're going to talk about this as well. We will get there. Other news.
Sun Tzu.
Brazil and Mexico go to draw in a great game with a lot of chances. One really could have happened there and goes to draw. That's kind of, yeah. Ochoa from Mexico is tied for the most saves right now.
Yes.
That's from you.
At least it was on their game.
Okay.
And he was also given a new title. Instead of Man of the Match for that game, ESPN's Mexican branch actually called him the Titan of the match.
ESPN
because that man single-handedly threw with Brazil. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Mexico didn't do that.
No, he did.
Ochoa did.
Guillermo Ochoa did that.
And we'll get to more about that in just a moment as well, because we are doing goal, save, and derp of the week. Spain. Spain is eliminated in group stage with 1 game to play. 1 game to play in group, and they're mathematically eliminated. They cannot play.
Sorry,
they are playing against Australia, who is also eliminated. Neither of them have won a game. They're playing for the who sucks less match.
The third place.
The third place in group stage.
Group.
The who sucks less match.
I'm calling it now. Cahill, 3 goals.
Cahill can't play.
Oh, yes, he got the double.
Cahill can't
yellows.
Which
yellow
is the only
accumulation.
reason. It's the only reason that Spain's gonna win.
Yeah.
Because Cahill.
No,
can't play.
because all of Spain's top 11 are just gonna go hang out on Copacabana Beach with all the nice Brazilian ladies.
Pretty
And they're
much.
just gonna kick it with some drinks. You know?
Are they going to do in Brazil? Because what are they going to do? Hey, I play for Spain. Like, yeah, wait, aren't you out?
Well, what, are they gonna do that in Spain? Hey, I play for Spain.
Back in their home country, though, at least they...
Well,
They did. They can always say that, hey, we won the 2010 World Cup.
Yeah, they're
I
gonna
mean, there is that.
They're gonna go back to that. They're not gonna. They're just gonna say, nope, 2014 never happened.
It was a ghost of a year.
Yes.
Like
All right.
like 2006 for us, right? 2006 never happened.
What happened then?
Nothing.
Good.
So,
Anywho.
for the World Cup goal of the week, we were kind of split on this one. I personally believe Van Persie's goal was the best, but a lot of these guys were saying that Cahill's was. I honestly, looking at both of them, would tie it. I think both of them were beautiful volleys.
Mm-hmm.
Van Persie's was a Superman header dive, which was beautiful. Cahill's was a glorious boot to the moon, which hit the bar and then down. I mean, that was...
volley.
Yeah.
Cahill's reminded me of the English goal last year that got called back. Hit the bar, came down, obviously over the line.
Wow.
If you look on the camera,
replay.
1966, right?
no, last idiot.
Sorry.
Obviously over the line, but guess who didn't have goal line technology?
FIFA.
2010.
2010 did.
2010 didn't.
That's who.
Africa didn't.
World Cup save of the week?
Ochoa.
Guillermo Ochoa, which one though?
All of them. That's what I was going to say.
He
All of
saved
them.
the game.
He is the same.
Yeah,
saved the
he
game.
is the save of the week.
Yes.
Some of those saves were just...
Stood
Duh.
on his
Oh,
head,
yeah.
though.
Inhuman.
I mean, like...
Oh,
Inhuman
yeah,
is the
absolutely.
best. Is
That
the only
deserves a
word that
hockey
comes to
stick
mind
tap.
for that.
Hockey stick
Hockey
tap.
stick.
And the crazy part, though, is if you look back to Mexico's goalie history, he was not good 2-3 years ago. They pulled him. They pulled
Oh,
him.
shoot.
They pulled him, remember?
Oh, no, you didn't.
Mom and Dad are fighting.
This is why we can't have nice
Let's
things.
not get too deep into this.
All I'll say is he had a drought. He came back strong, and that was amazing.
Great saves. he is, as a human being, the save of the week.
He is.
We have one more of the week this week. It is the derp of the week. Now, without looking at the notes, can anyone tell me who the derp of the week is and why?
Igor Akinfeev.
Why?
Because he's awful.
Wait, yes, but let's first do this. Splenda, who is Igor? You can look at your notes now. I have it on the notes.
The Rust keeper.
Rust
He's the keeper from Russia.
Okay, keeper from Russia, and why is he awful?
Because of the South Korea goal where...
No, it wasn't even that good.
Wasn't that one?
So, no,
Oh.
it wasn't even he was back. It was straight to him, hands in front of him,
And just...
bops it, and then it goes behind him.
Oh,
he
that's
doesn't go for it.
Oh, no.
No, he bopped it in front of him, and it jumped
Well,
back.
he has to hit it.
There was enough
No,
forward
he had
spin
to
on that.
catch that.
There was enough.
Well, he should have.
Yeah,
You should have just catched it.
But there was so much
You're
forward
right.
spin on that, and I have a little bit of forgiveness for him, especially because if you compare it to other goalkeeper derps during World Cup, and you look at Rob Green, for example,
Oh.
there is no reason, there is not so much forward spin on that ball where physics took over and said, screw you, goalkeeper.
I
You-
agree. But
I
at
can
the
see
same
he was
time,
so screwed because of that forward spin.
the biggest
All
thing,
it did was hit his fingertips, roll over, and just keep on going.
the biggest thing about it is he took his eyes off the ball. If you
Yes.
watch the replay, the ball's coming in. He actually looks up to see where he's going to throw the ball, and any keeper knows that you don't take your eye off the ball until it's safely in your hands, because that can happen. That's the same reason that when you save a ground ball, you put a knee down. If it rolls through, it's going to hit you in the knee, and you can cover it up. So same kind of principle there. It was a stupid mistake.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to say he's the worst thing in the world, but man, was that
Because we all
bad.
know Rob Green is the worst thing in
Rob
the
Green's the
world.
worst thing in the world.
Just ask any Englishman.
I love Rob Green. I don't know why you guys...
I love Rob Green, but for a completely
Yes.
different reason than
Completely
anybody
different.
Brandon had a
Someone
weekend
else.
with Rob Green.
yeah,
They
I did.
stared deep into each other's eyes.
they're dreamy.
Went to
All right,
Bora Bora.
I can't help it. They're so
Anyway,
dreamy.
let's
Get
talk.
lost in those
I bet,
eyes.
dude.
Let's talk about our groups games.
Okay.
We obviously don't have a ton to talk about in terms of we have a lot to talk about for our group. We don't have a ton to talk about for the rest of the cup. And the reason I'm saying that is because we are a United States podcast, and if anyone's listening overseas, how
How'd
did
you
you
find
get
us?
our episode?
Yeah.
Simon Davies, we love you, man.
Simon Davis, if you're listening, sponsor me. Or us, I mean.
Yeah. Selfish.
Anyway,
Selfish plug, yo.
I'll do it.
let's talk about Portugal and Germany. We were just talking about the Pepe red card. That's the first thing I want to discuss here. He did get that red card, a very deserved red card, and faces that possible 3-game suspension, which would carry out of group stage.
Well,
Yeah, assuming, of course,
Assuming they
make it.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, if they were to make it, it would carry out of group stage.
I just want to clarify. I was at work
Okay.
when that game was played,
okay.
and the replay I saw, the guy was on the ground, and he just came up, and it looked like he just gave him a little
Okay,
nudge.
yes.
It doesn't matter.
But that's
Yeah.
the one we're talking about.
Yes.
I wasn't sure if it was
Yeah.
he was then like, no,
Well,
I just did
you know,
this to you.
and
What
that's
are you
actually
talking
a
about?
very good valid point. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people who don't watch soccer don't know this.
I was
It's
there.
the intent behind it.
Zidane.
I could come, like, if me and
Yeah.
Taylor are playing,
That's what
and I
thought.
just went like this. I mean, just barely tapped Taylor. Didn't actually, like,
Even if
not
I
the
didn't
tee.
flop.
The intent was there. It's
Okay.
still a red card.
Okay.
Even if
That's
you
fair,
swing at
yeah.
someone and completely miss,
Mhm.
it is considered violent conduct,
Okay.
and as such, has no place in our game.
Absolutely.
And as such, gets a red card.
Absolutely.
Good.
And I'm glad you brought up Zidane, because that's the best thing I've ever seen in
That's
soccer.
that's what I
I'm
thought
sorry.
it was.
I'm sorry.
Fun
That's-
fact, do you know what that man said to get headbutted by Zidane?
No, I actually don't. I know
So-
that Zidane throwing the headbutt made them lose.
So
Which was a
I'll
big deal.
try to keep the story short.
Okay.
The forward that Zidane had been, or the defender that Zidane had been going through for the entire game, was complaining about him, or Zidane was complaining about the defender pulling on his jersey.
Okay.
He told him, if you want my jersey so bad, we can trade after the game. At that, the defender responded with, I would rather have your sister.
Ooh. Ooh.
I
shots.
I should have
don't
popcorn.
really blame
This will be
Zidane.
good.
I don't. I mean,
No.
and plus, if you're gonna headbutt, just go all out.
Oh,
if,
yeah.
If you're gonna get a red card anyway, and
If
you
you're
know
gonna
it,
do it,
if you're gonna
You
do
might as
something
well just do
stupid,
it.
lay the guy out.
I'd like
Take
to
him out too.
I'd like to bring you back to high school real quick. I have Zidane headbutted Splenda in the
That hurts
chest
so hard.
for no reason. We were playing Super Mario Strikers, and I just yelled Zidane and headbutted him in the chest.
We were just like standing in some girl's garage, and you just
This is a
Felt my
bad point in my
sternum
life. Yeah, I went
cave in a
into
little
his
bit.
chest.
So if you guys would like to continue to talk about soccer today,
Anywho.
please.
Anywho, hey, that's kind of soccer. We're playing Super Mario
We were
Strikers.
playing soccer.
It's a
game
sort of
stuff.
soccer game.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's
Ish.
talk Pepe.
Yes.
Kind of going a little bit more into a. I mean, what does this mean for them? What does this mean for them going into the game against the U.S.?
I think they're gonna be just another Spain, just not as bad.
Okay.
They're gonna implode.
I agree, but I want to go into the reason.
Okay.
For Portugal, especially after the 4-0 thrashing Germany gave them, which is by far
One of
most
the best games.
That is by far one of the most hilarious things I've seen in my life. Sounds sad, but I find joy in others' misery. That said, they've they've lost 3 players to this game.
Mhm.
Pepe from the red card. I forget that Contrao,
Control.
and there was another defender, I believe.
Yes.
It was like an A name or something.
Something
Something like that.
For the life of me, I cannot remember who it was because I don't have it written down anywhere. But they are down 3 players, 2 of which are starting center backs.
Yep.
And they might, as we're going to talk about in just a moment, they might be without Ronaldo. The last we heard
That Wish
from
Doctor magic.
an actual medical professional was that he should not play or he will end his career. The last we heard from the Portugal goalkeeper was that he's 100%.
He's
right,
totally fine.
right
You can
chipper,
trust
isn't
me.
it?
Right, Chippa.
Right, chipper, isn't
guys, they got the horse placenta back.
They got
That's
the
what
horse
it is.
placenta. Do they also have the
So how does
the
that work?
compression shorts with the
Yes.
Is the
Lower torso.
the Wilfred Zaha?
Yes.
If you don't know what we're talking about, someone remind me to post that on our Facebook later.
Yes, please. I will. I've got that. I've got
Not
to
safe
remind
for
you.
work. Don't view it
Not
with
safe
your
for work.
no
We will
little
put
children.
a not safe for work tag on it.
pregnant ladies. People
Those
with
who
disabilities.
are
Those
prone to seizures.
just trying to cover our butts.
So let's talk about Cristiano Ronaldo.
Mhm.
He played horribly.
Not for the first 10 minutes.
Not for the first time. He played selfish. I remember during the commentary that they actually pointed out Ronaldo is playing as if he's the only member of the Portuguese team.
But see, and that was going to be actually my point in his defense, is that he seemed to be the only one carrying.
Okay.
So wait, is he not the only member of that team?
Well, I mean, when you were leading up to the game against Germany, the biggest thing was it's man versus machine. Everyone knows Germany is a machine of a team. The
Man.
entire team.
They work like the German engineering of old.
Yeah.
You know why Panzer tanks were so terrifying? German engineering.
Yeah.
That's why. You know why the German national team's so terrifying? German engineering. It will continue to roll.
Yeah.
It will never stop.
They
That team
are
will never be bad.
they are absolutely ridiculously good, and Portugal has Ronaldo. Now Portugal has some other good players.
It's Ronaldo and 10 other people.
It's Ronaldo.
Well,
and
let's
10
just
other
be honest. That's the team.
Yeah.
It's 10 other random people.
And
it's
that-
just like they're Portuguese street children they picked up.
That
Where's your
honestly
cards?
disappoints me.
That's a caution.
Is that a
That's
caution?
a caution.
Can I have my yellow card, please?
Why is that a caution?
That's what it says.
feel
Who
that-
else
I
would the
feel the
Portuguese
term-
national team pick
I
up from the
feel the
streets?
team
It would
street
have to be
children.
street children.
Street children.
Why?
It seems offensive to me.
Anyway,
Oh, God.
not going to talk about that yellow card for
You have-
too long.
You have delicate sensibilities.
Anyway, I think I agree with you. Because I came into this discussion thinking that yes, Ronaldo thought he was the only player, and that was a problem to me. But I appreciate you pointing that out because that changes things a little bit. He kind of was the only one who cared.
He's the only.
It seemed like.
Well, he's at least in my eyes. And then you kind of saw though towards the end, like he would make a pass and the run wouldn't be there, and he's just like looking around like,
Where is everybody?
what's going on? Like I know we're getting destroyed, we're down a man, but
Well, he was all alone up top.
Yeah.
And anytime he took the ball into space up in the attacking third, he had to wait an additional 3, 4, 5 seconds in some cases for anyone to even arrive, and by then, well, it's Germany. You can't elude them for that long.
Yeah.
You can't. You have to keep the ball moving.
So I think this discussion has gone from my original intention of how awful did he play to how well did Cristiano Ronaldo play, regardless of...
He did everything he could have without any support.
I was going to say he did everything he could against 11 guys by himself.
Okay.
But then again, that brings me to my original point that got me a yellow card. It's Cristiano Ronaldo and 10 street urchins from
Well, do you want to give
Portugal.
him a second?
No, he's already been cautioned.
Okay.
He's already been cautioned.
Thank you for the caution.
The
Talk
sad
about
thing
it.
about Portugal is this: is they actually do have some other decent, talented players.
I mean,
Joking
Pepe's not
aside,
bad.
joking aside, they do. Nani, for example,
Yeah.
comes to mind. That pace of his.
Yeah.
And you know what? That actually, me bringing that up makes me mad. Because with Nani's pace, he should have at least had one outlet.
Yeah.
At least one outlet
And he
every
didn't.
time he was in attack.
Yeah.
There is no reason someone with Nani's pace should not have been up near the box every time Ronaldo was.
So let me ask you this though, kind of to transition a little bit. What do we see from Portugal when they play us?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to ask.
Do we?
in defense or attack, I got two different answers.
Well,
I want to hear both.
we already know their defense is probably a little shaky. So
Their
attack,
defense is going to be shell-shocked.
Yeah.
If we score an early goal, if Dempsey does his 29-second magic again, you're going to see Portugal come out and try to shoot from ridiculous distances.
Okay.
You're going to see Ronaldo put shots out from 35 yards, and well, it's going to go into row Z. So, I mean, in defense, I'm not too worried. If we start with Dempsey and either Johansson or Wando up top, I foresee many goals for this game, going both ways. Frankly, if his supporting cast can actually provide some assistance every now and again, I think you'll see a very dangerous Portugal attack. I think you'll see them work through the middle, and I think you'll see Ronaldo shine.
Okay.
Assuming, of course, that
Their
that the witch
guys
doctor
will
doesn't
feel
just
it, yeah.
kill him.
Yeah. Well, Ghana witch doctor, get on it.
Well, don't kill him.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
just knock him out for.
I mean, let's be realistic. Do
Monday.
we want Portugal to win anything? No. Do we want to see Ronaldo go back to Real Madrid? Yeah.
Yeah, eventually. At
He's
some
still a
point.
person.
He's still a person, and he's a great player, and I'd
He's-
like to see him.
He's actually a pretty okay guy.
He's an okay guy, and I want to see him and
He's
Zlatan
street
fight
children.
again.
He does. He adopts street children.
He adopts
and
street
makes-
children to
and
play
gives them
soccer.
and
Portuguese
teaches them how
national
to
kids.
play soccer at a high level. I mean, Nani was picked up by him, 12 years ago?
Yep.
Ronaldo was only 14.
Wow.
That's a thing. Do you have words to say about this, or do you want to move on?
I honestly don't know what to say.
Okay.
I mean, I
Let me ask you this question then. What do you really think about the USA Ghana game?
Which
What was
we
it?
are going to get into here, so...
That was a love-struck tone you just gave
That was
us.
a love-struck tone. Let's talk U.S. and Ghana. Splenda, I do want to start with you.
Yeah.
What did you think of the U.S. and Ghana game, sweetheart?
it was amazing to finally see. Gonna get a little patriotic. Can we have, if we could get a waving American
Can I?
flag,
I don't know if I could do
a
that
waving
on the
American
fly.
flag
Wait,
with,
wait,
a,
wait, wait,
with
wait.
a bald
there we
eagle,
go.
Give me the other side
a
of this.
bald eagle flying behind me.
Oh, flip it.
It just,
Something
There we
like
go.
It's
that.
upside down.
just
Trade you.
Just keep talking, and I'll get to your
Keep talking.
backdrop.
Keep talking.
Great to
Pay no
see the
attention to the mess
American-
behind you.
The American perseverance. Stick through it. You get us twice, we'll get you the third time. And to finally see us win one for the Gipper brought a patriotic tear to my eye. That's what it did. And
Awesome.
to see,
let's just cover up Spain real quick. Let's just
Yeah,
do
here,
that.
I'll
That's
help
fine.
you. I'll help you.
I got red. I
Now
got
you're
blue.
not. Now you're
Hide
not
your
disturbingly Spanish.
There you go.
I'd also like to point out, just as a funny sidebar, if you watch the replay of that second goal when it cuts over to Klinsmann turns around to his bench and just goes, "Someone hug me," and everyone runs past him, and then Nick
Ramondo stops
Ramondo
him.
runs up and just like bear hugs him, and Ramondo's face is just like, ah!
And let's be honest, there is no one, not me, not Nephi, not Taylor, nobody in this world that wanted the United States to win against Ghana more than Jurgen Klinsmann.
Yeah.
And here's why. Ghana essentially
Yes.
destroyed the careers of the last two national team coaches we've had, Bruce Arena and
Bob Bradley.
Bob Bradley. I mean, yes, Bob Bradley did get a couple more games after that, and losing in the Gold Cup final, it was the final straw. But let's be honest, losing in the World Cup to Ghana a second time in a row, that was about 3 nails in the coffin.
Yeah, this would
for
have
Bob
been.
And
Bradley's
under
career.
Klinsmann, we have won the Gold Cup,
Mhm.
and we are
Beaten Italy in Italy.
Beat Italy
In Mexico.
Beat
Mexico.
Mexico. 2-0.
In Mexico.
Beat Mexico in Mexico in a friendly.
I think that is the biggest.
That is
That's
the
the biggest
that is
thing.
the first win the United States has ever had in Estadio Azteca.
Yep, I remember that. I wish we had a podcast then. We would have talked about it.
Thank you, Beasler. I love your defense.
But yeah, I think Klinsmann has brought on a new, I don't want to say reign, because it's not a reign, but a new,
Mindset.
Was that bad?
I go with
That's
So-
mindset.
Yeah, no, I would agree with Brendan. I like
you
that.
can't bring up the Reich. You can't bring up the Reich.
What the?
You can't bring up the Reich.
I'm so
I'm
glad
German,
I
it's
didn't
okay.
pay attention to what you said.
So
The Reich.
I think it's a good change. People have been kind of, I wouldn't say attacking, but kind of been critical of
they were attacking.
what he's
They were
said.
attacking,
But what,
yeah.
but
That's a
of
good term.
Jurgen's
Absolutely.
mindset of, I don't think we're going to go out and win this World Cup.
And Jurgen said that. Jurgen said,
Exactly.
we're not going to win this cup.
Exactly.
Does any American citizen who is actually a soccer fan and understands the game really think that we have a chance to win this World Cup?
It'd be
Probably
awesome if
not.
we did.
I mean, we have like a 1
1 in a million.
Yeah.
And that's
So you're saying there's a chance.
that's the beautiful
That's
thing
like-
about
there's a
soccer.
chance.
There's a saying that we have in the soccer world, any given Sunday. That's
What?
really in the
That's
sports
football.
world.
That's football. Yeah, that's NFL, dog.
I know.
Just go with it.
That's the joke.
Al Pacino.
But regardless of the sport,
that
but I
caused
think
me pain.
I think
Sorry.
soccer more than any
gave
other
me cancer.
sport, any given Sunday is it's kind of a truth statement because it could happen.
Yeah.
It could happen.
Look at the Spain situation.
Look at Spain.
Dropping out to little Chile. I mean, don't get me wrong. Chile is a great team.
But
they
Spain is
truly
not that bad.
I mean,
No,
you know,
Spain.
come on.
Spain should
Spain's
not have
not as
lost
bad.
2-0.
Oh, not that bad. Let's recap this. They have won the last 2 Euros.
Yep.
They won the last World Cup.
Yep.
And lost in the final
They-
in the
last-
in the Confederations Cup.
Oh,
they
okay.
took second in the Confederations.
Which is a huge deal.
That was
still
their
a big
last
deal.
big. That was their first biggest, I guess, tournament loss in a game in years.
Which wait, are you talking about the Netherlands game then?
No, the second place.
Confederation.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Confederation
I mean, but-
loss.
This is
Oh,
a team that
gotcha.
just hasn't lost.
And it's not like they've really changed up their team.
Well,
That's
that's
the
the
problem.
problem. That is the problem.
But
They're
I-
old.
And I get that. But my thing is, my point to that wasn't that because they're the same team they were 4 years ago that they should win. My point is, because they're the same team that won the World Cup, they shouldn't have lost 4-0, or I'm sorry, 5-1?
5-1.
5-1 to Netherlands.
Yes, they should have.
Yes, yes
I
they
don't
should.
think they should have gotten killed that bad.
Well, okay,
Let me
let's
explain.
okay.
Let me-
No,
Let
You got
Nephi
this.
talk. Let Nephi
No,
talk.
actually, let's not,
Give me
because I
words.
actually want to talk more about the USA Ghana game.
Right, we have gone kind of off track, and we're not talking about Spain because there is something important to talk about
It's
the
all
US.
off the rails. It's all off the rails right
It's
now.
all off the rails. This is a crazy episode. I hope you're
Off the
holding
rails.
on for the
Inwards.
ride. But we are going to talk about Josie Altidore now.
Josie.
Everyone hang your head.
Moment of silence, please.
Dear soccer gods, we pray to thee that you do something and make Josie able to play again eventually. We know he's out for Portugal, but if he could play against Germany, that would be fantastic. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen. Okay.
Anyway, Josie Altidore has been confirmed out for the Portugal game.
Yes.
Klinsmann Klinsmann has said he is hoping for a speedy recovery and is optimistic.
He's confident in
He's
a
confident.
speedy recovery, is what he recently said. So that gives me even more hope, because if he's confident for a speedy recovery and that he's confident that he will return during the tournament, I really hope that means he'll be back for Germany.
Yes.
That's what I'm really hoping
We need him
for.
for Germany.
We do.
We need
We need
someone
someone that can provide the hold-up play and actually defend themselves from a German like Mertesacker.
But the biggest question
hold
here,
it off.
I just like saying that name.
It's
I'm
a
sorry.
great. Schweinsteiger is the best
It is
footballer's name
such a
ever.
good name.
This
Give
person
me a
is
better.
Bastion.
Hulk.
Sebastian.
Hulk is not better than
Oh,
Schweinsteiger.
come on.
No. Because
His
both
name is
names
Hulk.
go together.
Fred.
Sebastian
Mhm.
Schweinsteiger.
Schweinsteiger.
There's so much alliteration. It's the best.
Anyway, Altidore. How do we play without Altidore? Let's start with this. Nephi, what's your lineup without Altidore? Let's just go even more in depth. Who's replacing Altidore?
See, I don't know.
What are our options?
That is an hour-long discussion. I mean, to be honest, it depends.
Let's compress it into 2
Okay,
minutes.
if Klinsmann decides to go with the same lineup with 2 up front, his best option, and Brandon's gonna get to it, is Wondolowski.
Okay.
To be honest, I kind of don't see him going with 2 up top.
Okay.
I think he does another one in midfield. Clint is a 1 up top.
Okay. So who would you put in?
Well, my lineup would be depending on how our defenders are feeling, I would keep the same back 4 unless their legs are feeling tired and they're not up to it. No, that's my view, at least back 4. I would then do the same mid 3, but I'd actually have him in the middle. You have Beckerman just in front, Jones, and then Bradley in the center, 2 outside wings. I'd have Zusi, and I'd have Dynamo. What's his name?
Brad Davis.
Brad Davis.
Gigantic ears.
Yep. And
Just say big ears.
and Clint Dempsey up front.
Okay. Brandon?
I see them using the 4-5-1, and I hate it.
Okay.
I absolutely hate
I
it.
agree.
And I think you're right. That's probably what they're gonna do. But allow me to give you an alternate universe where Jurgen Klinsmann has the same mind as I. Okay? First, let's talk about the 4-5-1. The problem with the 4-5-1 for us is that without Josie up top providing hold-up play, the 4-5-1 is useless for us.
Yes.
We've tried it before.
Yes.
And it has failed miserably.
Mhm.
So much so that at the second half,
We
we switched to a 4-4-2.
True.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is not our style of play to play a 4-5-1. It will not work. It will give Portugal more opportunities than they would have had if we just slotted someone else in Altidore's spot.
And who would you put in Altidore's spot?
Wando. Why? Because 2 center backs from Portugal, the 2 starting center backs are out, and Wando has a knack for finding space where there shouldn't be any.
Okay.
See,
He's got a knack for scoring goals. He's a true goal poacher.
yeah, and I agree. And I think what Klinsmann
He's got
does
the
is
third
does
W.
the 4.
He does.
I think Klinsmann does the 4-5-1 in the first half, like we're saying, clogs it up, doesn't give, just pretty much clogs up the middle.
Well, and that's what we did against Ghana,
And
too.
that's what we did against Ghana. And then you
And
see
that's why
Wanda-
Beckerman was such an integral part of the Ghana game.
Yes, and then you see, and I would almost pull out Beckerman at that point, depending. Hopefully that
If you switched.
if you
mean?
switch to a 4-4-2 and then
Okay.
you put Wando. in.
So who replaces
I wouldn't.
Becks?
I don't remove Beckerman.
Well,
So who replaces Beckerman?
Wando would come in, and then you'd switch from a 4-5-1 to a 4-4-2.
Okay,
When their
okay.
legs are tired,
I see what
Wando
you're
is
saying.
more
Okay.
vitalized.
So
I
who
think
would
he-
you
fresh
swap
legs.
if we swapped from the
Going from a 4-5-1 to a 4-4-2,
Mhm.
I drop Brad Davis because you don't need his left foot for anything other than set plays on the left
See,
side.
And that's why I wouldn't. I would actually, you know what, if Beckerman's doing better, I'd probably almost take Jermaine Jones out, because more
I
likely...
wouldn't take either out.
Well,
They both play with so much
I
passion,
know.
so much emotion.
I-
You can never worry about either one of those players giving everything they've got for your team.
I agree.
Welcome to the Nephi Brandon Show.
I-
My name is Taylor, and this is Splenda. We're just
Okay, this is going to be my last comment on this, and I agree, but we're bringing Wando in for poaching. Why wouldn't you keep your best set person in?
Because he's not your best set person. He's just your best set person on that side. We still have good set players. Clint Dempsey can go from the left on set plays. He currently does. And then you look at the right side. Zusi has to stay in. Zusi has to. He's a more dynamic right-sided player than Alejandro Bedoya. And Bedoya, I've always seen him as a central attacking mid. I've always seen him up at the top of the diamond, but he lacks that ability to hit that killer pass. But he's also not so good at crosses, so I'd rather see him at the top of the diamond than, well, anywhere else on the field, anywhere in the locker room. I don't want to see him anywhere, honestly. I don't like Bedoya.
Okay.
I don't think he belongs at this World Cup. I would have dropped him for Donovan and brought Donovan in as as your box-to-box attacking mid.
Okay. Say words.
I
Please.
think with
Say words to cut me off.
missing those two center defenders, we need to make sure that we put people forward. And if we're going to run a 4-4-2, run guys that can create on their own. If things get clogged up in the middle, we can't have guys just get the ball and not know what to do. We need to find guys like Wando that can create space where there is no space, or do something to rattle those reserves that are coming in as starters. They're going to be mentally shaken having to step up and start in the World Cup. I know it's every kid's dream, but you put them on that stage, and I guarantee you somebody's going to crack. Get somebody that can create on their own. If we can get Clint Dempsey and somebody else up front to do almost like a DeAndre Yedlin, Obafemi Martin, sorry, I was thinking Sounders guys. Obafemi Martins and Clint Dempsey up front where they just wreck stuff in the attacking half for the Sounders. If we could do that, we could ruin Portugal's World Cup like that.
Okay.
I agree, actually. I kind of like that, actually.
Yep.
But if you're going to go with someone that's similar to Obafemi Martin's style, the closest thing we have, and it's granted it's really not that close, would be Aaron Johansson, the Iceman coming.
What about Mix?
Mixed, but up top?
No, but Obafemi Martin doesn't necessarily play up top. He's bringing it from the center.
But they
He's a forward.
free reign all over is what I was more getting at. The fact that they're not confined to a left and a
I
right,
like what
but
you're
they
saying,
just kind of
I see Mix
are
more as
all
a...
over. So.
I agree, by the way.
Yeah.
I think that was a good point.
job.
I think that was a good point, buddy.
Good boy.
I see Mix more as a Bradley replacement for when Bradley's too gassed.
What if?
Because Mix has that knack for really impacting a game the same way Bradley does.
Okay, so let
It's
me
just
take
not quite
back
as
that
good at
substitution instead of Jones for Wando. What about Jones for Mix?
And let's
I-
make this our final point, guys.
I can live
End it
with
up
that.
there.
Okay.
I can live with that decision. It's not the one that I personally would make, but it doesn't bother me because Mix will also play at 100%
Yep.
always. He plays with his emotions on his sleeve, and you never question his work ethic. You never have to.
And I'm going to stop you right there. Thank you for the lovely discussion, ladies.
Mhm.
It's been fantastic.
You're welcome.
I've been fantastic.
Does my hair look okay?
Your hair does look
Yeah.
okay, actually. It looks very nice, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well,
no, it
thank you.
does. It's good. I'm wearing a hat because mine's not.
And I just have perfect hair all the
You
time.
have perfect hair all the time. Anyway, let's wrap this up. We have 2 games coming up. Are we on the same day? Are we at the same time this week, or is that the next
I
one?
think that's
The 26th, I know we're playing at the same time.
Yeah, no.
They're on the same day, at least.
I know that the Portugal
play Sunday.
games before.
We play
Yeah,
Sunday.
no,
When
Portugal
does
games
Germany
at
and Ghana
1.
play?
We play at, I believe, 4.
we play at 4.
Yeah.
Mountain.
The-
Yeah,
And
against-
Ghana plays
against
Germany
Portugal.
Monday.
Is it late? Yeah, it must be
Mhm.
later. Anyway, let's give some predictions here. Nephi, Portugal, U.S.
I'm going US 3-1.
3-1. Wow. Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Splenda,
All right.
give me Ghana,
I like
Germany.
Ghana, Germany.
Yeah.
Dude, you can't stop the man sheen.
The man-sheen.
The
Man-sheen.
The man sheen of Germany. I think it's going
Is
to be
that like
at
the
least
shiny man parts, or are we talking about like a machine that is also
Man
man?
hyphen sheen.
man hyphen
Okay.
sheen. It's one.
I thought we were
word.
talking like man sheen, like SHEEN.
No,
like,
no,
like
no,
they're
no,
shiny.
not like. Oh.
The sheen of a man.
No, not like Charlie Sheen. Nothing. No, it's like machine, but man sheen.
Okay,
Well,
Just
if Charlie Sheen, we're talking Charlie Sheen, then just want to just crack out
Just
soccer players.
cokeheads. You
Get the
can't-
ball in the goal!
You can't stop the manly machine that is Germany. German engineering, like Brandon said. You know, it's
Which I love that.
it's
I love
going to
that.
be a Germany blowout unless Ghana can stand on their heads and just get
What's with even
the
standing on head today?
dude. It's that just playing out of their minds,
Ian Dark has really.
Ian
rubbed
Dark's
off
got
on
into
you.
you, yeah.
dude. So
you
if-
watch too
if-
much Ian Dark stuff, man.
If Ghana can play out of their minds and step up to this game, I think Germany is going to be too much for them, and it's going to be at least 3-0, 3-1,
Okay.
something like that. It's going to be a blowout.
All right. Well, thank you guys. That about does it for us. Join us on Facebook at Passively Offside. Join us on Twitter at passively_off.
Go to the overlay so they can see it.
Sorry, I apologize. We have an overlay.
Yeah.
That's at passively_off, facebook.com/passively offside, and passively offside.blogspot.com. For the Passively Offside, for the Passively Offside team, including Boris, I am Ian Dark. Have a great rest of your night.
You're not British enough to be Ian Dark.
Too bad.
Too bad.